Good morning. This is going to be video 4, and it may be like video 3.5. We're going to see. I only have 2 challenges left in the 4 section, and then we're going to move on. But I think conditional code, I'll probably start it as its own video. So this may be a little bit of a short one. This may be, I don't know, they may be really hard challenges, and we go through them. It's been a little while since I've been. So let's get started on the next challenge. This one's Gem Farm. It says decompose multiple patterns into functions and loops. This challenge, there are gems to collect and switches to toggle open. You'll need to identify the patterns for gem collection and switch activation. Then you'll write a function for each pattern and figure out how many times you'll need to call those functions using loops. So we see this pattern here. I've got a row, I've got a row, I've got a row. In each row, I've got 2 switches on my left as the character. I've got 2 gems on my right. So we know we've got a pattern here. And so we could start out moving to the switches. We could start out moving to the gems. It's really your preference. So this is one of those, again, where you could do a whole bunch of things to solve this. One of the first things I'm going to write is my turnaround function. And I know that I've written this a whole lot, and it's repetitive, but this is a great way to reinforce the structure of the function. So would encourage you to do that as well. We know we're going to need a turnaround at the end here and at the end here. So it just gives us a little helper function that we can use. Let's pretend we're standing in the middle here. If I'm going to loop through this and I want kind of a reset on where I'm at, what I might do is I might write something that just collects gems to write. So I'm going to say function collect gems. And I'm going to assume every time I'm in a row, I'm facing forward the way I am now. So the first thing I need to do is turn right. Then I need to move forward, collect gem. And because I'm doing that twice, let's loop that instead of writing move forward, collect gem twice. So for I'm just going to move those 2 lines of code into there. And so I'm going to move forward, collect gem, move forward, collect gem. Now let's do our turnaround, because we wrote that beautiful thing. And now let's move forward, and we're back to center, but let's just turn right. So let's see what this code does so far. If I just said collect gems, and collect gems is probably not a great name because collect gem is also a command, so that may get a little confusing. But for now, let's go with it. We're going to watch what it does. Moves forward, gets the gem, turns around, and resets. So he ended up in the column exactly where he started. That's kind of a good place to be, because if I wanted to, later on I found out that the requirement of this puzzle was I need to collect the switches first and then do the gems. I could make that change without having to rewrite a whole bunch of things, because I'm moving out and then I'm moving back into a reset position. So you can do that in your job as well. So now let's write a really similar function. I'm going to pull out this collect gems because we don't need to. I'm going to call this something else real quick. Let's call it get gems. That way we're not confusing ourselves. Function, and we're just going to call this get switches. And so the very first thing we need to do is turn left. And then we know we have a little for loop in here. Switch toggle in 1 ... 2. Just like we have on the other side. I'm going to move forward, toggle switch. I don't know if you guys noticed, but whenever I did this, I started to write switch, and you'll notice it lit up just like function. You actually can't use the term switch. Switch is a reserved word, just like func is. And so I'm going to call this get switch. Oop, spell switch right. But just if you ever run into that, I think every coder's run into something where they get an error after error after error, and then later on they figure out, oh, I'm using a reserved word. So if you ever see it light up like that, that's what it's trying to tell you. And I think I did it down here because that one started with switch toggle. And so I'm going to then turn around move forward, move forward, and then I'm going to turn left. And so let's then do get switch. So we're not running get gems this time. We're just running get switch. Oops. Let's see what we missed. Oh, we didn't put our parentheses there. Rookie mistake, guys. Sorry about that. Okay. Now notice we're totally ignoring the gems this time. All we're running is our get switch command. And we reset back in that position. So now I've got this beautiful option of I could go get my switches. I could go get my gems. Either way, I'm great. So let's just complete this because now we're 90% done for, let's just call it rows. Probably not rows, like, I'm just going to call it game rows. Each row is a game row. In 1.3. We know we can behave really similarly through each of these, or the exact same through each of these. So if I did get gems, get switch, move forward, we're essentially done. And I could do get switch, get gems, because the way we wrote this, it resets him to the center each time. He makes the turns he needs, he turns around, he comes back, he resets. So if you want, write it like this and play around with switching these out, but either way you do it, it's going to work. Let's see what we get. And that might feel repetitive or silly that he's going to move back into an extra turn that he doesn't need to reset. He could just continue through that column and go get that thing. But there's value in resetting back to that neutral position. All right. Boom. We did it great. All right. Last one in the section. Let me reset this real quick. Ooh, this is a little complicated. I think we can do it, though. Practice pattern finding, decomposition, functions, and for loops. So let's see what we got here. So I've got this little area right here. I can't move beyond here because there's a wall right here, and I can't climb that wall. Like, I can't jump yet. He can later on. But for now, we are stuck on this little T, and then we move to the portal. The portal is on my right here, and then I pop out over here. And then the portal is on my right here, and then I pop out over here, going that way. So I'm trying to orient the way that we come out. There we go, and the portal's on my right again. So I'm seeing a pattern already with the portals. If you notice, I've got this little tiny T, a tiny T, a tiny T, except for the last one. Interesting. Oh, it's hiding behind the rock. There it is. I was going to say, what's going on there? And then I've got a tiny T here too. So we've got a similar pattern of gems. We've got a similar pattern of portals. Let's tackle the gems first. So I know I could come to the center, and then I could move out and back to each of these things. Excuse me. If I know that's part of it, let's go ahead and write us a couple of functions that we know we need, like turnaround. Okay, we know we're going to need a turnaround function. And we know we're going to need a gather gems function. So let's talk about how this would look. We are going to move forward first. That gets us to the center. And then we're going to kind of loop. We're going to get this gem first. So let's just collect the gem. That gets our center one. But then we're going to do out and back, out and back, out and back. Or we could, on the last one, go out and then keep moving forward. Either way you wanted to do that. I think I'm going to go out and back because then that resets us to that neutral and then we can move forward. And that lets me loop that last gem. So if I were to go for outer gems in 1.3, I could, if I'm in the center there, right where this gem is, I could turn left, grab that. Come back in, and then I'm facing this way, so I'd turn left. Come back in, I'm facing this way, turn left, and I've got it. So turn left, move forward, collect gem, turn around, move forward. Let's just see what that does. Let's run gather gems. And like I said, this is a great way to do it, is test a portion of your code and make sure that works the way you think it should behave. We're turning left, we're turning around, we grabbed our gem, and we're back in that position. Now we know the next thing we would need to do is turn around because I want to head towards that portal. So let's turn around and then move forward twice. That's going to put me here, which is then going to put me here. And then I'm doing gather gems again. So that's pretty cool. So let's do this one more time and see where that puts us. It should put us, I'm going to run it at fastest because we know our gems work. Oh, I took my gather gems command out. Let's do that. Okay, that works. One thing I could do is I could say this little bit is its own thing because it's not really gathering gems. It's just stuck in gathering gems. You don't want to add too much functionality to functions in real life. You want to keep them kind of small and really purposeful. So I'm going to say move to portal is my next function. So I would gather gems and move to portal. That's exactly like what we just did. And we already have a pattern here, and we already know it's going to work. So let's just do for we know we have 4 sets of these. And let's run that. And notice I'm calling the function turnaround from other functions. So function gather gem uses turnaround. Function move to portal uses turnaround. You can call functions from other functions. I know we've covered that before, but I think it's worth repeating. In our final one, we've got a for loop where we're calling 2 functions that we've written. Let's see what we get while I drink coffee. It's a little cold. We're on our 3rd set already. It's looking good. We're doing what we want. Reset to that neutral center, move to the portal. Yeah, and notice at the end, we actually didn't need that last little move to portal. So we could say 3 times and then just one more gather gems. It didn't hurt us that it went ahead and did it, that it tried. He bumped into a wall there. We could fix that to where that doesn't actually happen. The easiest way would be reduce that to 3 and then move that out. Oh, I'm sorry. Move gather gems out in one final time. Let's run that and just make sure that works the way we think it does. So all on this time we're doing is the 3, just like this, and then we're gathering gems the last time. There's better ways to do that later on, but we haven't learned those skills yet. And so for now, this would be an acceptable way. It's also okay right now that the guy bumped into a wall. There's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't count as a fail or anything like that. So feel free to take that approach too if you like. It's our last iteration, and we're done. All right. It's about 15 minutes in, so I'm going to go ahead and end there. Would like to encourage you guys, keep up with your learning. Try to make it purposeful every day. You can develop a new skill like this no matter what your age. I had a family member tell me the other day that she is doing these coding challenges now too, and we were talking about one of the loops and one of the challenges there. And whatever age you are, whatever your background is, give coding a shot. There's some really cool things you can do with it. It's really fulfilling to help solve problems that you know you have. There's a lot of careers out there for it. So if you're looking for a skill, this is a skill that you really can self-teach yourself. if you're purposeful about it, and you can make an awesome career out of it. Hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for tuning in.